Hello guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be making brown sugar boba ice cream. I'm going to leave you this right here so you can take a screenshot if you want, but here are all the ingredients that were used in this video. But other than that, let's get right into it. So first things first is you're going to add your rice flour into a heat-proof bowl, emphasis on heat-proof. Next, you're going to add your brown sugar. And then next, you're going to add about 1/4 of a cup of boiling water. It needs to be boiling so it can melt everything evenly. And then be careful with this because it is going to be super hot. So go ahead and mix it with a spatula, a spoon, whatever you have, and just kind of mix it until everything's kind of Play-Doh-like texture. That's what it said. But go ahead and put that on. I have a silicone mat, so that's what I use, but you can put it on some parchment paper or just dust some of that rice flour onto the surface and kind of work with it that way. My dough happened to be a little too wet, so I just added some more rice flour in it as well, but you're just gonna keep kneading it and mixing it until it resembles like Play-Doh. So you're gonna end up making one homogeneous dough or mixture. I decided to just go ahead and roll it up into like a ball and just put that on the side of my mat. And also you're gonna get some plastic wrap and just wrap it around the dough just to make sure nothing dries out while you're making your boba pearls. So when you're making the boba pearls, just take little chunks and pieces off of the main blob of dough on the side and just roll tiny little pearls. It's gonna look something like this. Obviously it doesn't have to be perfectly round or perfect. You're also gonna throw that in another bowl with some of additional rice flour just so nothing gets stuck while you're making some more. Keep rolling them. Again, you're going for homemade tapioca pearls. Go for that rustic vibe. Nothing has to be perfect. You're gonna go ahead and sift that extra flour in the bowl just because you don't want that to be stuck on the pearls when you're boiling them. But just give everything a good sift, and I'll show you guys an image of what it looks like. But this is all of my boba pearls that I were able to make. Go ahead and bring a water to a boil and throw all of your pearls into it, and then as soon as it hits, you can put your timer for 5 minutes. These do swell quite a lot, so I would recommend making them a little bit smaller, but once they float to the surface of the water, go ahead and take them out. They should look something like this, but just set them off to the side. Grab some of that brown sugar and then add some water. You're gonna boil that and make it almost like a caramelized type goo, and just keep boiling that water off until it's really thick, and then you can add in your boba pearls. And that's just gonna help the boba pearls soak up some of that flavor and also make it more thick because that starch is gonna come out of the boba as well and make that syrup a little thicker. But once you're done, repeat that process, except you're gonna do this step without boba. So go ahead and do equal parts of sugar and water. And instead of adding the boba pearls, this one we're gonna add straight cornstarch. So once your mixture becomes simmering almost to a boil, you're gonna add your cornstarch mixture. This step happens pretty quickly. The liquid does get really solid pretty fast. Be careful though, because it is very hot. I kind of spilled some of it on the edge, but just keep stirring it and stirring it and stirring it, and you'll get some sort of mixture like this. For the ice cream, we're gonna take that heavy cream. It's 2 full cups, so it's like one of carton that I bought, and you're gonna put that in a nicely chilled bowl. So I put everything in the fridge, the bowl, the milk, the condensed milk, and so we'll just put that off to the side. Really, the condensed milk is for the sweetness, so you can add however much condensed milk you want. I just kind of decided I wanted more of like a semi-sweet ice cream, so just pour about how much you want. Then you're just gonna keep mixing it until you get like little mountain peaks in the cream mixture. Once you're done with that, go ahead and get a large vase, a cup, anything, and put a Ziploc bag in it, or if you have a piping bag, that works well. I used a piping bag and just put it in the cup, and then you're gonna fill this for your popsicle molds. So you're gonna do alternating mixtures of that boba brown sugar mixture, and then you're also gonna do it with the ice cream that we just made. So I started with boba first, and then I'm gonna get some ice cream and put that in, and just keep alternating until you run out of materials. So close your bag, and then it should look something like this. Make sure nothing comes out, and try to give it a massage. You kind of want like a swirled effect as you're piping it into the mold. So kind of give it a squish, do whatever you want. Just make sure at the end of the Ziploc bag or your bag, it is sealed completely. So next, get your popsicle molds, and then we're gonna put some of that condensed or concentrated syrup that we added the cornstarch in, so the thicker syrup, and we're gonna line the base of the popsicle mold just all around the edge and just let it naturally drip to the bottom. That's gonna give that brown sugar just that look of that swirled effect to give it more emphasis. And so go ahead and do that. I only have 2 popsicle molds, so actually 2 functioning popsicle molds. I don't know where the other 2 sticks went, but just use whatever you have. It should look something like this. Next, you're gonna cut a hole in that bag with the filling in it, and you're just gonna pipe it all the way to the top, making sure to leave a little space for that stick that you'll put back in. Continue that process with the other ones that you also have. Just give them a little tap and make sure all the air bubbles are gone. Stick the popsicle sticks back in, and then pop that into the freezer. I had actually so much leftovers, I was able to make a whole mason jar full of this ice cream. So definitely you might want to have the recipe if you only have a couple of popsicle molds. Alright, so it is the next day now, and so it said to leave it in the freezer for 4 hours or best overnight, and so I did that overnight. And you should just be able to pop them out of the mold. If not, just run it under some hot or warm water. Here's the first one. It looks really good. Unfortunately, I only had 2, so it's really sad I couldn't be able to make more, but they taste super good. That's all we have for the video, but I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please, I highly encourage all of you guys to do this at home and tag us in all your pictures that you do. And until next time, bye!